One More Mile is significant for me because when I was 16 years old, I had been playing kind of, I guess, different kinds of music, but fiddle music, folk music, bluegrass, blues. And when I was 16, I saw James Cotton. And it was at a big outdoor field. I think there was like 20,000 people in the audience. And he was fantastic, and he was, it was life-changing for me. I thought, that's what I kind of want to do. That's the kind of music I want to play. There was other players there apart from Muddy Waters. Usually Winnipeg Folk Festival will have a famous bluegrass player, famous blues players, folk, people like Pete Seeger and all kinds of people. I saw him at the age where it just knocked me out, and I was living in Winnipeg at the time, and after that point I listened to him and kind of immersed myself in blues. Still a Fool is just a classic Muddy Waters kind of slow blues. I've recorded another song that's very similar to Still a Fool in the past. Really low down kind of vibe on that song. I love the words. I think the words are beautifully written on that song. And just love that vibe on that song. So that was a pleasure. Dig Myself a Hole is just a song I've heard since I was a kid. Other people used to play it and I'd hear them. It was originally written by Arthur Big Boy Crudup, who wrote That's All Right Mama for Elvis Presley. And Dig Myself a Hole is a funny song to me because it was written about 1950s Korean War. I used to hear a guy named Ken Ham record the song when I was a kid. So it's, again, another song I've kind of brought through my whole life and finally ended up recording it now. I Will Remain's my shot at like a kind of traditional minor blues, really, and it's just a question of getting the lyrics right for a song like that. You can't get too wordy, it has to kind of sound classic, and that's what I was going for, working on that. Well, you just kind of feel what you think would be the good introduction to the record. We picked 40 Light Years in this case. The song is a bit more contemporary than the rest of the stuff on the record. Enjoyed writing. I wrote that song with Tom Wilson, who's a great Canadian songwriter, who I've written Freedom and just a whack of songs. I write mostly with Tom over the years, and we keep on getting together because we always have a good time, as we're good friends, but we also have success together. You know, we didn't set out to write a song called 40 Light Years. I had that title written down because I thought it sounded kind of cool. And that was it. And we were working on the song one day and we were messing around and I went, 40 Light Years? And everyone went, yeah, sounds great. And off you go. Right when you think you've had enough guitars in your life, you end up with a new one. This one here, I just got it last week, and we did a little video shoot for 40 Light Years, and it was just supposed to be my little prop for the day, and I kind of fell in love with it. So here it is. Well, it's great. It's a great Strat. I finally have enough Strats. No more Strats. I promise you, this is it. Anyway, I love it. We played it on a couple gigs the other day, and it's going to be great. It'll be a lifer. Very good. Ooh Baby Hold Me is actually, used to just be called, that was the official title. I think I always knew it as Ooh Baby on the Fleetwood Mac record. So they recorded it in '69. Turns out it was just a Howlin' Wolf record the whole time. I didn't know that. I thought it was Fleetwood Mac, but it was a Howlin' Wolf song. And it's a very classic Howlin' Wolf song. That groove is very much like Killing Floor that Hendrix did, and It's got that, you know, that very doom, 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 got that boo ding, 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 ding. It's got that thing going on. Very Hubert Summerlin, who was Howlin' Wolf's main guitar player. So I always wanted to do it, so finally had a chance to do it. Black Knight is just a beautiful slow blues. I've always loved that song, and we would have had it on a previous record, but we cut it in the wrong key last time by mistake. So when I went to sing it, we realized it was the wrong key, so we chucked it off the last record. So this is round 2. And again, it's just a song I've always, Black Knight is such a beautiful title. It's so provocative in its imagery. And Charles Brown sang that, just did a beautiful job of that song. But I always loved it, finally got a chance to record it, that's it. Soul of a Man's a Blind Willie Johnson song. Blind Willie Johnson had a really gravelly voice. He was a preacher, and you kind of can't miss his songs in the gospel vein. It's our take on it. We had the Sojourners from Vancouver here singing with us on it. And it's kind of just, it's got that Blind Willie sound. It's a fun song live. Really enjoy it. Also singing on Soul of a Man is Colleen Renison, who's a local Vancouver singer who also, I think she spends half her time in Austin, Texas, but fabulous, gritty, soulful singer, and she sings on that song too. We do an acoustic song on the record called See That My Grave Is Kept Clean. Dylan recorded the song in 1962. Everyone's done a version of it. I think Dave Van Ronk, John Hammond Jr. Did it. They called it One Kind Favor, so it's obviously, these are bastardizations of the same song. But I'm a huge John Hammond fan, so I listen to him. I've always listened to John. This is a version of a song, it's a beautiful tune, and we try to keep it spooky, because it's kind of a spooky song in the first place. It's hard to talk about a graveyard without getting a little spooky. The only thing with this song is we had to be very careful, because it was all acoustic and you couldn't really stop and go, so we had to get a full take, which I managed to do, surprisingly. I Need Your Love So Bad. It's just a beautifully written song by Peter Green. It's got that classic kind of Ray Charles vibe to it. And we had to cut a bridge out to kind of shorten it and condense it a bit. That's the difference we kind of brought to it, was kind of a bit of editing. Beautiful song. Love that song.
My baby's moving out this morning, but 9:30 she passed.
Tears Came Rolling Down is a song that came to my attention on a record by Jeff Maldar, who used to, Jeff and Maria Maldar from when they were married. Jeff's got a great voice. He's co-writer on the song. Just kind of a great ripping little slow blues. That's kind of a mean little song. Tears Came Rolling Down. So One More Mile for me is a song I've loved since I was 16. And the version that closes the record is more like a Delta blues song. And there's an original out there of, I thought it was Memphis Slim, but I know Muddy wrote it, so maybe Muddy's on the recording as well. But it's an all sung version of it. And it's just beautiful. So we had this local band from here. They're actually mostly from the United States, but they live here in Vancouver, the Sojourners. Great, fantastic singers. And they came and sang it with me live in the studio. So we did it live. And I was scared to make a mistake on my guitar. And I didn't, so I was proud of myself.